Assalamualaikum and good afternoon everyone. So today I will give a lecture on topic 5 and 6. The topic is about integration in teaching and learning. This topic will cover about topic 5 about the computer network system and topic 6 about the safety issues in computer network system. So, firstly you must know what is definition about communication. Communication is a process of sending and receiving message through a verbal and non-verbal. That means including speech or oral communication, writing and graphical representation such as infographic, maps and also chart, and signals, signs and other behavior. But for this topic, the communication will cover about only for the networking. So, what is network class? Network consists of two or more computers that are linked together in order to share resources such as printers and CDs, and we can change our files and allow electronic communication. And the computer on a network may be linked to cables, telephone lines, radio, wave, satellite, infrared, and wireless. This is the important element in the networking. First is node, or we can call it as host. Node or host is any device on the network such as printer, PC, laptop, smartphone, and data transfer rate atau bandwidth is the speed with which data is moved from one place to another on a network. And also the important element in the networking are protocol, file server, and web server. Protocol are a set of rules that define how data is formatted and processed on network, such as rules that allow clients and server interaction, and file server a computer that store and manage files for multiple users on a network, and web server a computer dedicated to responding to requests from the browser client for the web page. What is the advantage of the networking? Why we use networking? First, the advantage is we can share file and information online or online storage such as cloud, email, compared to sharing a pen drive or diskette, which can cause a computer infected by a virus. By sharing your file, you can easily share data between different users or access it remotely if you keep it on other connected devices. And when we resource sharing using network connected peripheral devices such as printers, scanners and copies, or sharing software between multiple users, then it can save our money. So how many kind of network? So it depends on one perspective, which we can classify network in different way. First, based on transmission media, which is wired or unwired. The wired media such as coaxial cable, fiber optic cables, and also the unshaded twisted pair cable. And also the number 2 is based on network size, LAN, WAN, and also MAN. And the third based on management method, peer-to-peer or client and server. And the number 4 based on topology connectivity such as bus, star, ring, mesh. This is the one type of transmission media, wired. Physical transmission media, they have two categories. First, guided, and the number 2 is unguided. The guided is wires and cable, and unguided is wireless transmission, such as radio, microwave, infrared, sounds. And then the guided media, they have three types. First, twisted pair cable, and coaxial cable, and also the fiber optic cable. For the twisted pair cable, they have two types. First, shaded twisted pair cable, and the second one is unshaded twisted pair cable. For the shaded twisted pair cable, it has metal wrapper around each twisted pair wire, which further reduce noise and use environments susceptible to noise such as in land, and more expensive than UTP. And then UTP is unshaded twisted pair cable, cable that do not have shielding, inexpensive and easy to install, and commonly used in telephone network. For the coaxial cables, in general, coaxial cables or COX can carry signal of higher frequency, 100 to 500, than UTP cables. And it always used for the cable television, such as this picture. And coaxial cable, auto metallic wrapping, serve both as a shield against noise and as the second conductor that completes the circuit. Okay, this is the fiber optic cable. Fiber optic cable consists of thousands of hundreds of thin strands of glass of plastic that use light to transmit signal, which each strand, called an optical fiber, is as thin as human hair, and faster data transmission is more expensive than coaxial cable and UTP. Okay, less noise, better security, smaller size, capability of carrying significantly, and more signal than wire cables. Okay, it's difficult to install and modify, and it always used in between floor of building, long distance telephone companies. Okay, and next for the transmission media is wireless. Okay, wireless used in communication include broadcast radio, cellular radio, microwave communication, satellite, and also infrared. Okay, one type of the wireless is broadcast radio. Okay, broadcast radio distribute radio signal through the air over long distance, such as between cities, region, and so country. And it can receive the broadcast radio signal. If we want to receive the broadcast radio signal, the receiver has an antenna that is located in the range of the signal. Okay, and some network use a transceiver which both send and receive signal from wireless devices, and also use broadcast radio when listening to AM and FM radio station, watching television, and talking on a citizen band radio. Okay. This is the number 2 is cellular radio. Cellular radio is a form of broadcast radio that is used widely for mobile communications, specifically cellular telephone. Okay, the third is microwave. Okay, microwave or radio wave that provide a high-speed signal transmission. And a microwave station is an earth-based reflective dish that contains the antenna, transceiver, and other equipment necessary for microwave communication. And microwave are limited to line of sight transmission, which means that microwave must be transmitted between microwave antenna. So, microwave stations often are positioned on the top of building, tower, of mountain. Okay, satellite is also one kind of the wireless transmission media. Satellite is a space station that receives microwave signal from an Earth-based station, amplifies the signal and broadcasts the signal back over wide areas to any numbers on Earth-based station. And then the communication satellite usually are placed about 20,000 miles above the Earth, and are used in air navigation, television and radio broadcast, video conferencing, global positioning system. Okay, the last one type of wireless is the infrared. Infrared is the use of wireless technology in devices or systems that convey data through infrared radiation. Infrared is electromagnetic energy at a wavelength somewhat longer than those of red light. Infrared wireless is used for short and medium range communication and also control. Okay, next, what is transmission media? Okay, they have two types of transmission media. First, asynchronous, and the second one is synchronous. Okay, in asynchronous transmission, data is sent in form of byte or character. This transmission is the half duplex start transmission, and in this transmission, start bit and stop bit are added with data. It does not require synchronization. Okay, the difference between synchronous and asynchronous transmission. Okay, synchronous transmission fast, but asynchronous transmission is slow, and synchronous transmission is costly, which is more expensive than asynchronous transmission. And then synchronous transmission, there is no gap present between data, but in asynchronous transmission, there is present gap between the data. Okay, next is a transmission direction. Okay, transmission direction refers to the mechanism of transferring of data between two devices connected over a network. It is also called communication mode. This mode directs the direction of flow of information. There are three types of transmission mode. First, simplex, half duplex, and the third one is full duplex. Okay, in simplex mode, the communication is unidirectional. As on a way street, only one of the two devices on a link can transmit, the other can only receive. The simplex mode can use the entire capacity of the channel to send the data in one direction. The example is keyboard and traditional monitor. The keyboard can only introduce input, the monitor can only give the output. Okay, for the half duplex, each station can both transmit and receive, but not at the same time. When one device is sending, the other can only receive, and the half duplex mode is used in case where there is no need for navigation in both directions at the same time. The entire capacity of the channel can be utilized for each direction. Okay, the example such as walkie-talkie, in which message is sent one at a time and messages are sent in both directions. Okay, the last one is the full duplex transmission mode, which is both stations can transmit and receive simultaneously. Full duplex mode is used when communication in both directions is required all the time, and the capacity of the channel, however, must be divided between the two directions. Example, telephone network in which there is communication between two persons by a telephone line through which both can talk and listen at the same time. Okay, they have three types of network. First, LAN, MAN, and also WAN. So, what is LAN? Okay, LAN is a small network short distance. It's a group of computer and network devices connected together, usually within the same building. By definition, the connection must be high speed and relatively inexpensive. Example, token rate of Internet. And the example one, most Indiana University Bloomington department are also using LAN network. Okay, this is a peer-to-peer network. Okay, peer-to-peer network is also called a group, which doesn't have no hierarchy and no administrator. The advantage of peer-to-peer network, first, low cost, simple to configure, and user has full accessibility of the computer. But the disadvantage, first, may have duplication in resources, difficult to uphold security policy, and also difficult to handle uneven loading. Okay, next is a client and server. Client and server, they have two components. First, network client and also the network server. Okay, you can look from this figure or from this picture. Okay, a client is a computer hardware or device or software that access a service made available by a server, and the server is often but not always located on separate physical computer. Okay, web server or server is a physical computer dedicated to run service to serve the needs of other computer depending on the service that is running. It could be a file server, web server, database server, home media server, print server. Okay, and how we want to access a server. Okay, a server can be located inside or outside of your LAN network. Accessibility to the server is determined by whether or not it has a public IP address or private IP address. If the server has a public IP address, it can be accessed from the web. If it has a private IP address, it can only be accessed from inside of your LAN unless you set up port forwarding for remote access. Okay, next is MAN. MAN is a network in a city. It's called MAN or Metropolitan Area Network. Okay, it's a larger network that usually span several buildings in the same city or town. A network that uses long-range telecommunication link to connect two or more LAN computer housed in different places far apart. The example at town, state, countries, or network of our campus or internet. Okay, the next is WAN. WAN or Wide Area Network is comparison to a MAN. It's not restricted to a geographical location, although it might be confined within the bounds of a state or country. A WAN connects several LANs and may be limited to an enterprise, a corporation, or an organization, or accessible to the public. The technology is high speed and relatively expensive. The internet is an example of a wide public WAN. Okay. This is the network topology. Okay, network topology is the arrangement of the element such as link, nodes, computer, smartphone, or others of a communication network. Network topology can be used to define or describe the arrangement of various types of telecommunication networks, including radio, command, and also the others. Okay, the example of network topology: first bus, ring, and also the star. Okay, we go to the bus topology. Okay, bus topology is a network topology in which nodes are directly connected to a common half duplex link called as bus. A host on bus network is called a station. In a bus network, every station will receive all network traffic, and the traffic generated by each station has equal transmission priority. The advantage of bus topology: first, easy to install, which is each cable needs to be connected with a backbone cable. And the second one is less cable required than mesh and star topology. But the disadvantage of bus topology: first, difficult in fault detection, and the number two is not scalable, as there is a limit of how many nodes you can connect with a backbone cable. Okay, this is for a star technology. Each device in a network is connected to a central device. Okay, this is a central device, which can call it as hub. Okay, unlike mesh topology, star topology doesn't allow direct communication between devices, which is a device must have to communicate through a hub. If one device want to send data to other device, so that device has to first send the data to the hub first, and then hub will transfer the data to the other device. So the advantage of star topology: first, less expensive, because each device only needs one input-output port and needs to be connected with hub with one link. Easy to install, less amount of cable required because each device needs to be connected with the hub only. Okay, easy fault detection because the link can be easily identified. Okay, if hub goes down, everything goes down. None of the device can work with the hub. This is a disadvantage. And then the hub require more resources and regular maintenance because it is a central system of star topology. Okay, this is a ring topology, which is in a ring topology, each device is connected with the two devices on each either side of it. There are two dedicated point-to-point links a device has with a device on either side of it. The structure forms a ring, thus it is known as a ring topology. Okay, ring topology. If a device wants to send data to another device, if this device wants to send data to another device, so it will send the device data in one direction only, and each device in ring topology has a repeater. If the received data is intended for other device, then repeater forward this data until it intended device receive it. Okay, the advantage of the ring topology: first, easy to install, and managing is easier as to add or remove a device from the topology. Only two links are required to be changed. But the disadvantage: first, a link failure can fail the entire network as the signal will not travel forward due to failure. And number two, the data traffic issue, since all the data is circulating in a ring. Okay, this is a mesh topology, which is each device is connected to every other device on network through a dedicated point-to-point link. When we say dedicated, it means that the link only carry data for the two connected devices only. Let's say we have devices in the network, then each device must be connected. Example, this device A can connect with device B, C, D, and other devices. Okay. It is used in one to interconnect LAN and for mission critical network like those used by bank and financial institution. The advantage of mesh topology: first, no data traffic issue. The second one, mesh topology is reliable and robust as failure of one link doesn't affect other links and the communication between other devices on the network. And the third, mesh topology is secure because there is a point-to-point link, thus unauthorized access is not possible. And the number four, fault detection is easy. Okay, next, internet is type of one of network which is internet is a worldwide collection of networks that link together millions of business, government office, education institution, and individual via modem, telephone line, satellite, and also other communication devices and media. And how we want to connect to internet. First, we must have a computer or PDA or smartphone, and then we must have ISP or internet service provider, and also we must have a modem or modulator or demodulator for dial-up of a service, network interface card for DSL or cable services. Okay, this is how home network if we use a single machine. Okay, first we need only a modem and also a cabling to connect with the internet. And if we have a multiple machine, we also need a hub, switch or router, and Ethernet cable and also cable. Okay, hub, switch and router are all devices that relate which we can connect one or more computer to other computer, network devices, or even other network. Each has two or more connectors called ports, in which you plug the cable to make a connection. Okay, this is for the home wireless network. It doesn't need any cabling, but we only need wireless. Okay, so this is the internet connection. Okay, we must have internet service provider such as Celcom, Maxis, Streamit, Digi, Unify, and others, which is this ISP or this company will provide the individual or company to access the internet. Okay, so broadband. Okay, broadband internet service literally is the most used form of the internet access because of its high access speed. It is offered in 4 different forms: DSL or digital subscriber line, also fiber optic, cable, and satellite. Okay, the DSL connection and cable modem are broadband connection. Okay, internet service make its connection by utilizing unused telephone wire that cause no interruption to your telephone service. Okay, the speed that you experience with a DSL connection varies with your distance from the switching station. Okay, your speed will be slower than the further away you are and faster the closer you are to the switching station, and this may be deciding factor when you attempt to select between a DSL line and also the cable connection. Okay, if we want to connect with the internet, we must have modem or modulator or demodulator. Okay, modem is a hardware component that allow a computer or another device such as router or switch to connect to the internet, which is it convert a modulate an analog signal from telephone or cable wire to a digital number 1 or 0 that a computer can recognize. Okay, internet and intranet. Okay, as we know, the internet is a globally connected network of computers that enables people to share information and communicate with each other. Okay, so intranet, on the other hand, is a local or restricted network that enables people to store, organize, and share information within an organization only. Which is the internet is a globally connected network of computers that enable people to share information and communicate with each other. And intranet only can make a few people to connect with their network. Okay, but internet also have both of them are using TCP or IP. Okay, packet switching is a type of the protocol TCP/IP when we want to send our information or data to the network, which is packet, a unit of data sent across a network. Router, a network device that direct a packet between networks towards its final destination. And packet switching, messages are divided into fixed size number packet, individual route to their destination, then resemble. Okay, we can see from this picture that packet switching is a transfer of small pieces of data across various networks. This data chunk or packet allow for faster, more efficient data transfer. Often when a user sends a file across a network, it gets transferred in smaller data packet, not in one page. For example, a 3 megabyte file will be divided into packets, each with a packet header that includes the origin IP address, the destination IP address, the number of packets in the entire data file, and the sequence number. Okay, this is a network protocol. Okay, network protocol is an established set of rules that determine how data is transmitted between different devices in the same network. Essentially, it allows a connected device to communicate with each other regardless of any difference in their internal process structure and design. Okay, TCP/IP is the protocol of the internet. We want to use a networking, which is TCP is transmission control protocol, software that break message into packet, and internet protocol or IP address, software that deals with the routing of packet through the means of interconnected network to their final destination. Okay, this is the how TCP/IP work. Okay, TCP/IP is the primary protocol responsible for message transmission on the internet. TCP/IP break a message for file into a packet, and IP address is responsible for addressing packets so that they can route to their destination, and TCP/IP provide end-to-end connectivity specifying how data should be formatted, addressed, transmitted, route, and received at the final destination. Okay, this is a network address. We can see here we have an IP address. IP address is a unique address that identifies a device on the internet or a local network. IP address stands for Internet Protocol, which is the set of rules governing the format of data sent via the internet or local network. Okay. Okay, all the websites have their own IP address, such as Google. Google, even though the Google name is the google.com, but when we convert it to the IP address is 72.14.207 and 99. But because we cannot memorize the number, so all the websites prefer using the name other than using a number. Okay, domain name or DNS, domain name system, format by the rules and procedure, which is an identification string that defines a realm of administrative autonomy, authority, or control the internet. Okay, this is the example of domain name, which is every domain name has a suffix that indicates which top level domain and it belongs to. There are only a limited number of such domains, such as .gov for government agency, edu for educational institutions such as www.itasham.edu, okay, commercial business such as www.cimb.com, and my for Malaysia such as www.utusan.my. Okay, web address has a unique address which is we can call it as URL, which is URL is composed of several parts that help identify the web document for which it stands. The first part of URL indicates the set of rules of the protocol used to retrieve the specified document. HTTP is the common protocol and other popular protocol FTP. And then the protocol is generally followed by a colon, okay, by a colon, to /, and then the domain name. Okay, domain name. The domain name consists of two parts, the host and also the top level domain. Okay, HTML, the command that describes layout page, and at time /, and additional text follow the domain name. The information after the slash indicate a particular file or part of subdirectory within the website. Okay, next we go to the firewall. Firewall is a network security device that monitors incoming and outgoing network traffic and permission or block data packet based on a set of security rules. Its purpose is to establish a barrier between your internet network and incoming traffic from external sources such as the internet in order to block malicious traffic like virus and hackers. Okay, next is about the ICT issue and computer ethics, which is they have two important topic. First, information security, and the second one is confidentiality. Information security is a technique and policy used to ensure proper access to data, and confidentiality ensuring that data is protected from unauthorized access. Okay, they have three types of information security. First is confidentiality. Okay, information about system or its user cannot be learned by attacker. The second one is integrity. The system continues to operate properly, only reaching state that would occur if there were no attacker. And the third one is availability. Action by an attacker do not prevent user from having access to use of the system. Okay, so how we want to prevent unauthorized access? First, using password, name, and also PIN. And the second one, we can use smart card. And the third one, biometric. Biometric is human characteristics such as fingerprint, retina, or voice pattern. Okay, how we want to make a good password. First, this is the guidelines to make a good password, such as easy to remember, hard to guess. Don't use a family or pet names. Don't make accessibility. Use combination uppercase, lowercase, digit, and also special character. Okay, don't tell everyone. Don't include in an email, and don't use the same password in lots of a split list. Okay, typical password criteria: contain 6 or more character, contain at least one uppercase and one lowercase, contain at least one digit, contain at least one special character. Okay, between all of these password, which one is more good password? Okay, for my opinion, the good password is this one, 1, 2, and 3, because it have uppercase, and also it has the number, and also it have lowercase and easy to remember than the others password lah. Okay, and then CAPTCHA. CAPTCHA is the one of the most popular security that almost used in the bank website such as Maybank, CIMB, and others bank lah. Okay, which is CAPTCHA is an acronym that stands for Completely Automate Public Turing Test to tell computer and human apart. A Turing test is a test for intelligence in a computer or program. A CAPTCHA is a test that checks whether a human, not a computer program, is submitting an online form. It intends to prevent both hackers and similar automatic login from cheating the system. Okay, another example of the good security is fingerprints. Okay, fingerprints can increase security, which is a fingerprint is part of the body. Gaining access with one that not your own is far more complex than stealing an access card and difficult to duplicate because traditional access card and fob can easily be replicated, which made legacy access control system very vulnerable. A fingerprint is much harder to copy, and most modern biometric systems use litmus tests that measure aspects such as blood flow to ensure the fingerprint from a living person. Okay, so they have some type of attack. First, network attack, web attack, and also the operating system attack. Okay, this is the network attack. Okay, network attack is an attempt to gain unauthorized access to an organization network with the objective of stealing data or perform other malicious activity. Okay, attackers gain access to a network and can monitor or steal sensitive information but without making any change to data, leaving it intact. Okay, the example of network attack are packet sniffing, man in the middle, and also the DNS hijacking. Okay, what is the packet sniffing? Okay, packet sniffing is a practice of gathering, collecting, and logging some all packet that pass through a computer network, regardless of how the packet is addressed. In this way, every packet or a defined subset of packet may be gathered for further analysis. And this man in the middle. Okay, for the man in the middle, a man in the middle attack involves attacker intercepting traffic, either between your network and external site or within your network. It's if the communication protocol are not secure, attackers find a way to circumvent the security. They can steal data that is being transmitted after user credential and hijack their session. And DNS hijacking, or we can call it domain name server hijack. Also, is a type of DNS attack in which DNS queries are currently resolved in order to unexpectedly redirect user to malicious site. To perform the attack, the perpetrators easily install malware on user computer, attack our routers, or intercept or hack DNS communication. Okay, the number two is web attacks. Web attacks define when the criminal take advantage of vulnerability in coding to get access to a server or database. This type of server vandalism threats are known as application layer attack. Seeking to prevent web application attack should be critical priority for your IT security team. Okay, the example of web attack, phishing, and also the cross-site scripting. Okay, this example of silent backer, which is the example of the phishing web attacks. Phishing attacks is the practice of sending email that appear to be from trusted sources with the goal of gaining personal information or influencing user to do something, which is it combines social engineering and technical trickery. It could involve an attachment to an email that loads malware onto your computer. It could also be a link into an illegitimate website that can trick you into downloading malware or handing over your personal information. Okay, for the cross-site scripting or XSS attack, use third-party web resources to run script in the victim web browser or scriptable application. Okay, specifically, the attacker inject a payload with a malicious JavaScript into website database. When the victim requests a page from the website transmits the page with the attacker payload as part of the HTML body to the victim browser, which executes the malicious script. For example, it might send the victim cookies to the attacker server, and the attacker can extract it and use it for a season hijack. The most dangerous occur when cross-site scripting is used to exploit additional vulnerability. These vulnerabilities can enable an attacker to not only steal cookies, but also log keystrokes, capture screenshot, discover and collect network information, and remotely access and control the victim machine. Okay, next for the network attack is OS attack, or we can call it operating system attack. Attackers constantly look for OS vulnerability that allow them to exploit and gain access to a target system or network. Okay, this situation lead attacker to search for vulnerabilities. Okay, which is they will distribute some of malicious code. Malicious code is harmful computer programming script designed to create or exploit system vulnerability. This code is designed by a threat actor to cause unwanted changes, damage, or ongoing access to a computer system. Malicious software can be described as unwanted software that is installed in your system without your consent. It can attach itself to legitimate code or propagate. It can lurk in useful application or replicate itself across the internet. Okay, some example of malicious code are worm, Trojan horse, virus, and also the logic bomb. Okay, what is that? So what is Trojan, virus, and also worm? Okay, a virus, as name suggests, can replicate themselves on computer system, which is virus are highly dangerous and can modify or delete user file, cache system. And virus generally is small code embedded in the program. As user access the program, the virus start getting embedded in other file and program and can make system unusable for user. And worm, okay, this is example of the worm. Okay, worm is a process which can chop down a system performance by using system resources to extreme level. One process generates multiple copies where each copy uses system resources, prevent all other processes to get required resources. One process can even shut down an entire network. Okay, next is a Trojan horse, one type of the malicious code. Trojan horse is a program that is in a useful program and usually has a malicious function. A major difference between virus and Trojan is that Trojan do not self-replicate. In addition to launching attack on the system, a Trojan can establish a backdoor that can be exploited by attackers. For example, A Trojan can be programmed to open a high number port so the hacker can use it to listen and then perform an attack. Okay, the last one is the logic or time bomb, a malicious program that is reprogrammed to detonate at a specific time and release a virus onto the computer system or the network. Okay, cybercrime. What is cybercrime? Cybercrime is a criminal activity that either target or use a computer network or network device. Most but not all cybercrime is committed by cyber criminals or hackers who want to make money. Cybercrime is carried out by an individual or organization. The example of cybercrime is hacking, denial of service attack, virus, computer vandalism, cyber terrorism, and assault with software piracy. Okay, hacking and cracking. What is hacking and also what is the cracking? Okay, many people get mixed up between hacking and cracking because they don't know what a cracker is and they think it is the same thing. Okay, hacking is where you get into someone else's server or account, and hacking is illegal, but most hackers only want to explore or create software. But cracking is almost the same hacking because they both get into people's server and account illegally, but a cracker destroys the information and software that they get into. Okay, okay, what is denial of service attack? Denial of service attack, or we can call it as DOS attack, is used to tie up a website resources so that user who need to access the site cannot do so. Okay, DOS attack is when an attacker or attacker attempt to make it impossible for a service to be delivered. This can be achieved by thwarting access to visuality anything, server, device, service, network, application, and even specific transaction with application. Okay, in a denial of service attack, is one system that is sending the malicious data or request. Denial service attack comes from multiple systems. Generally, this attack works by droning a system with a request for data. This could be sending a web server so many requests to serve page that is crashed under the demand, or it could be a database being hit with a high volume of queries. The result is available internet bandwidth, CPU, RAM, capacity become overwhelmed. Okay, so antivirus. So antivirus is software installed to detect and remove malicious code. Which is the antivirus is a computer system with a purpose of protection from virus, spyware, malware, rootkits, trojan, phishing attack, spam attack, and other online cyber threats. The example of antivirus is Bitdefender, Norton, McAfee. They have a lot of antivirus. And then is the computer vandalism. Okay, software piracy. Okay, this is a computer vandalism. It's a process wherein there is a program that performs malicious functions such as extracting user password or other data, or erasing the hard disk, or transmit the virus. And then the cyber terrorism, used for internet-based attack in terrorism activities, such as technology-savvy terrorists are using 512-bit encryption, which is impossible to decrypt. Okay, software piracy is the unauthorized use copy of copyright software. It may take many forms, including unauthorized copying software, program purchased legitimately, sometimes known as end user piracy. So there are safety tips to make sure that we are not involved with the cybercrime. First, use antivirus software, insert firewall, uninstall unnecessary software, maintain backup, check security settings, stay anonymous, choose a general secret name, never give your full name or address to strangers, and learn more about internet piracy. Okay, so we want to achieve security. First, we have a lot of techniques such as cryptography, secure network, antivirus software, firewall. In addition, users have to practice safe computing, such as not downloading from unsafe website, not opening attachment, not trusting what you see on website, and also avoiding scam. Okay, encryption is the one way how we can achieve our security. Encryption is one way to protect sensitive data is to encrypt and have some process in the encryption. First, encryption, and the second one is decryption. Encryption is the process to convert plain text into ciphertext. Okay, this is the encryption to convert plain text into the ciphertext, and description is the process to convert ciphertext message to the plain text message. Okay, ciphertext message is the message that we can read, and the plain text message is the message that we can read. Okay, we can see from this slide that cryptography takes a plain text, also known as a clear text, and turn it into something that can only be understood by the intent receiver. Okay. Anyone else who somehow gets their hands on this piece of information should not be able to understand it. The practice of turning a plain text into a ciphertext encryption practice follow. To turn a ciphertext into a plain text, description practice follow. For example, we can see that the sender create a document and email to the receiver, but the sender doesn't want anyone to read the email, so it convert the email to the message that anyone cannot read it, that we call it as ciphertext. And then the receiver will receive that message, and then receiver can convert that ciphertext to the plain text by using the key, public key. The key is given by the sender to the receiver, so receiver can read the email which is sending by the sender. Okay, this example how the message from plain text to the ciphertext and the ciphertext to the plain text. Okay, we can see that this computer, we can encrypt computer from the plain text computer to the ciphertext. This is an example of ciphertext. So from the ciphertext, okay, we can decrypt this data from this to the computer. Okay, computer is plain text, and then the FRPSX WHU is the ciphertext. The example is this. Okay, today is Monday is the plain text. Okay, we want to convert to the ciphertext. We call it an encrypt. Okay, this is the data that we receive by the receiver. But when the receiver decrypt the data by the public key, it can convert this ciphertext data to the plain text. Okay, next is the internet encryption. To popular use encryption for secure socket layer and also digital signature. Okay, secure socket layer, or we can call it SSL, that usually we can see from the website. They have HTTPS in front of the address. Okay, SSL or secure socket layer is an encryption-based internet security protocol. It was first developed by Netscape in 1995 for the purpose of ensuring privacy, authentication, and data integrity in internet communication. SSL is the predecessor to the modern TLS encryption used today. SSL was created to correct this problem and protect user privacy by encrypting any data that goes between a user and web server. SSL ensures that anyone who intercepts the data can only see a scrambled mess of characters. Okay, digital signature is a type of electronic signature. Digital signature creates a visual fingerprint set that is unique to a person or entity, then are used to identify user and protect information in digital message or document. In email, the email content itself becomes part of the digital signature. Digital signature are significantly more secure than other forms of electronic signature. So why we use digital signature? First, because digital signature can increase the transparency of online interaction and develop trust between the consumer, client, business partner, and also vendors. Okay, and then, but we as a user, mostly we use internet as our doing in our lot of our work, so we must protect online information. We need to be smart about information what you make available first, because 25% of Facebook user doesn't make use of its privacy control or don't know they exist. And 40% of social media users post their full birthday, opening themselves up to identity theft, and then 9% of social media users become victim of information abuse. Okay, so that's all for today, class. Thank you for watching my video and also for listening my voice and also my lecture. So I'm sorry because I'm trying to make a class today. So Salam Ramadan. Good afternoon. Assalamualaikum. Okay.